Transition Awareness Breathing. Feeling grounded for both children and parents is essential for healthy living and learning. Join Eartha Powell on this series for tips and tools for creating a harmonious environment for learning. Transition Awareness Breathing will help you and your child find an individualized path to tackle change, promote lifelong learning, and discover new approaches to calmness.
Hi everyone, it's me, Eartha, and I'm in another park. It's called Breckenridge Park, and I wanted to bring us here for a couple of practices. So the first practice, there's called dropping the leaf in a stream. And the great thing about this park is it has both images that I wanted to show you for our practice today. You might hear the water in the background. And this park is just full of trees, and even though we're having a very extreme heat condition, the beauty of the leaves and the shade is just so nice and relaxing. And I wanted to share that with you. The second practice I would like to share with you is called the train exercise. And I think I may have shared that before, but I wanted to catch that imagery with you and share it with you. And so what I will do is narrate and guide you a little bit in your practice. And then there's going to be moments of just looking at the images so that you can build your practice the way you want to in your style. And I'm just, sharing the environment. I feel the wind blowing. You can see the trees in the background, and the breeze is just, it's warm, it's very refreshing, and it's just a very clean, crisp smell. So enjoy your practice as we do our couple of practices today. Thank you for joining me today in Transition Awareness Breathing Podcast. This practice is called Leaves on a Stream. And the purpose of this practice is to separate ourselves from our thoughts. Now, the fancy name for this practice is called cognitive diffusion. But let's not get caught up into the names. The focus of this practice is to notice our thoughts and not become wrapped up into our thoughts. Because we are not our thoughts. We all have thoughts. We can notice them, but let's grow more confident that we're not our thoughts, and we don't have to get hung up into our thoughts. So I invite you to get into a comfortable position and join me on the leaves of the streams practice. Once you're in your comfortable position, just notice your breath. Notice the feeling of your breath and how you feel as you're taking your breath. This is going to be your anchor. And to be aware of your presence of now. Imagine that you're sitting near a stream or a river, a flowing body of water. And just notice your breath as you're sitting near the stream of water. Notice the sounds that are around you, the water, the birds, the leaves rustling in the wind. And now bring your attention back to your breath. And notice the movement of your body as you are breathing. The changes, the temperature of your breath, and how you're feeling as you're noticing your breath. As you are sitting near the stream, along the river, just notice that you may have thoughts. Just put that thought in your mind's eye, put that thought on a leaf, and let it flow on the river. And just notice that thought just floating away. You're not denying the thought. You're not hiding the thought. You're just letting it flow on the river. You may have other thoughts that come into your mind as you're just paying attention to your breath. And it may be thoughts like, this is silly, this is boring. And that's okay. Just let those thoughts float on a leaf and just place it in the river. You are just watching the leaves just float on the river and noticing just maybe the spaces in between the leaves that's floating on the river. And as you're noticing the spaces in between the leaves that's floating on the river, another thought might pop up. Place that thought on the leaf and let it flow on the river. You're not passing any judgment on that thought. You're just putting it, you're noticing it, you're acknowledging it, and you're just putting it in the water and letting it flow. Noticing your breath, the movements of your body as you notice your breath. As you look at the stream, you notice it continues to flow. It's not stopping, it's just a gentle flow. Now you don't want to try to rush the flow. And try not to wish the water current was faster. Appreciate the gentleness of the now, of the flow of the river. If you notice a thought that continually comes into your mind, just put it on the river. If a leaf gets stuck, and these leaves represent your thoughts, don't try to pick it up. Just watch the leaf sway side to side, and it will loosen itself and flow down the river. If painful thoughts come or thoughts of anxiety, you could put those on the leaf as well and put that into the river. You're acknowledging it. You're not trying to hide from it. And you're watching it from an outside perspective. Because now the thoughts are not you. You're watching the thoughts. You're noticing the thoughts. Notice your feelings as you take a breath and the movements of your body as you breathe. And you see the beauty of the field and the stream that's around you. As we bring this practice to a close, notice your breath. Notice how you feel as we bring this practice to a close. Notice as you bring your awareness to now. Maybe you open your eyes. Maybe you notice the chair and you're the firmness of the chair and your feet on the floor. How do you feel? Be gentle with yourself. We're not revisiting old thoughts because we put those in the river. Enjoy your fresh new day. This was the exercise called Leaves on a Stream. This practice is called the Mindful Train Practice. And the goal of this practice is similar to the leaves in the stream practice, in that we are separating ourselves from our distracting thoughts. But our imagery is a little bit different, and I think children may find this practice a little bit more enjoyable. But I think the whole family might feel this practice may be enjoyable. So let's start. I invite you to get into a comfortable position, either sitting, or you can lay down or stand. And as you're getting into your comfortable position, imagine you are in a train station. It can be a real train station, or you can make one up if you've never been on a train. Just pretend you are at a train station. Now, friends, we are not going to leave the train station. We're visiting the train station, and in the train station, we're going to pay attention to our breath. Our breath is going to be like our best friend. So we're going to pay attention to that breath. So just to start out, let's show our breath that we are aware and that we appreciate our breath. So we're going to take a breath. We're going to breathe in for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and blow out for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, as we go through this mindful train practice, we're going to pay attention to our breath. We're going to count, making sure that when we breathe in through our nose, it is shorter than when we blow out through our mouth. Okay? All right. Now, as you are in the train station, you'll probably hear different sounds. You may hear a whistle blowing or people talking, and it may get you a little distracted. But we don't want to leave our friend, our breath. So we're going to pay attention to our breath, and we're going to breathe in 2, 3, 4, and blow out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, while we are in the train station, we notice that there's different trains on the track, and they're passing by. And those trains represent our thoughts. And we can watch those trains. There's going to be different types of trains, just like we have different types of thoughts. We're not going to get on the trains. We're going to wave at the trains and pay attention to our friend, the breath. And as we are paying attention to our breath, there's something else that we can do. We can pay attention to the movement of our body as we are breathing. We could pay attention to how our shoulders kind of gently move up when we breathe in, and how the shoulders gently go down when we blow out. We can pay attention to the movement of our chest when we breathe in and when we blow out. So we're paying attention to not only when we're breathing in how we're counting, but we're also paying attention to the muscles and the movement of our body, and we're paying attention to the temperature of our breath. So we're going to use our 5 senses, our sight, smell, our sense of hearing, touch, and taste, as we pay attention to our feelings and our surroundings as we're in the train station, looking outside the train station at the different trains passing by. You may hear other distracting things, like people talking, and the distractors are just representing thoughts. And we're going to let them get on the train, but we're going to stay in the train station. We may have really strong feelings, like happy feelings and exciting feelings. We may even think of things like our toys, or, wonderful treats, and that we get really excited. Those things, we let those go on the train. But we're going to stay with our breath in the train station as we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and blow out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you still in the train station? I bet you are. Okay. So I want to give you a congratulations for staying in that train station, because when we are having thoughts, and the thoughts are like trains, we may start off breathing, but our thoughts of excitement or our feelings of frustration, sometimes it leads us to places where we shouldn't be. And so this is a practice for our TAB friends and your families to kind of practice how to stay in that train station with your friend with the breath. And so when you're out and about and you're feeling really excited, or your feelings get heavy, just remember this exercise, the mindful train, and how your breath is the strength of your calmness. Thank you for your practice, and thank you for your attention.
Be sure and pick up a copy of Eartha's new book, Tab Mindfulness, Awareness and Coloring Activities in a Pandemic World. It's not just an ordinary coloring book. It features 23 illustrations to stimulate thought, relaxation, and creativity for anyone between the ages of 4 and 94. Increase your positive self-talk energy. Unlock new creative paths. Transform your time once or twice a week to create beautiful art while strengthening confidence, building positive self-talk, and sensitize self-awareness. Tab Mindfulness, Awareness and Coloring Activities in a Pandemic World. It's available now at Amazon.com.